We hope some of that flows to the small businesses in their neighborhoods. We're doing this because we know that people struggling to make ends meet don't lack character or competence, they lack cash. You know, there's a terrible narrative in this country that somehow people who are poor are disreputable in some way, right? Or screw-ups, right? A lot of people just don't have money. We trust our residents to know best what their families need and are in the best position to make responsible choices to keep their families supported. These investments will pay dividends down the line. Communities thrive when residents feel supported and see opportunities when they look to the future. Before we wrap up, I want to talk about public service and the landscape we find ourselves in today. I'm proud of the work that I've talked about today. But let me be honest with you, public service is not easy. At an event earlier today, I said that if you're an elected official, you're more often to have tomatoes thrown at you than compliments. But I firmly believe that if you have a vision for what you want and you're willing to work hard, you can make real progress. Being a public service means trying to be transparent. It's not enough to make tough decisions. You have to explain them to people in a way that hopefully brings them along. And that can be one of the most challenging and rewarding parts of the job. So I'm here to encourage you to consider public service. I'm grateful for the people I meet when I go out into communities. Sometimes they have compliments for us in county government. Sometimes they have questions or concerns, or they just want to tell me how much we've, I started to say screwed up, but how much we have not done the right thing in a particular circumstance. But all of this is valuable information for you as a public service. Finally, let me just say, I spent 10 years in the classroom, and I used to tell my students that their first obligation as a citizen was to vote. But that was necessary but insufficient. We also had to work for candidates you believed in and give them money. And let me just say, I think one of the challenges of our democracy at the moment is the higher up the food chain you go, the more likely it is that the candidates have personal wealth. So somebody like me, a teacher, is kind of an anomaly. You know, I didn't grow up with any family wealth, but I surely don't have any now as a result of having been a public servant for the last 30 years. My daughter said, "You've been in office for 30 years, how come you don't have any money?"